Hello once again. This is John A. Birch with JabLab, johnnabirch.com. Tonight I just wanted to talk to you very quickly on this wonderful topic that I'm creating a whole little ebook around. I'm going to send out for free here later this month called Mosesitis. So I want to throw this out here one more time through recording on Blab, maybe get some people in here to converse about this here in a moment. But I want to go over specifically these 5 doubts. And I'm doing this so that maybe you catch us on the YouTube channel or a replay here on Blab. And I want you to understand that you have these doubts within you, or they're kind of commonplace. Our doubts are commonplace, and they're represented in this beautiful story about Moses standing before the burning bush. So I'm going to go into more detail in another Blab about the bush and the Lord and the conversation with God that's happening here in the story. But I really wanted to touch on tonight in this particular session is to outline these 5 doubts. What are these 5 particular doubts that plague our lives? Hi, Terry. How are you? You're welcome to come on in, jump in a seat. Tonight, I'm going to go over just the 5 doubts. That's what I'm going to go through here in just a moment as I get going. So we have the story of Moses. He's standing before the burning bush. He's standing up on the mountain. He's gone out into the wilderness or the far desert. He sees the burning bush. He's standing before it. He's acknowledged himself before the burning bush. And he comes up with this, or he's told, this is going to be your greatness. This is going to be the great calling. So we get this greatness calling in our lives, and that's what this is all about, is your call to greatness and the 5 objections or the 5 doubts that we tend to go through before we kind of submit to, like, okay, this is what I'm supposed to do. And as we go through these, I think you'll be able to see these in your life. If you feel that you've been called to greatness at any point in your life, you'll see these particular challenges. So the first, let's jump right in. And verse 11 in chapter 3, in this particular of Exodus here, in this particular story, it says, "And Moses said unto God, Who am I, that I should go unto Pharaoh, and that I should bring forth the children of Israel out of Egypt?" And this is just I think this is the common first doubt that we get when we're called to greatness. It's this self-doubt of, who am I to have this idea to write a book? Who am I to have this idea to go out and impact my community this way? Who am I to do whatever this calling is? It's that instantaneous internal voice discussion that we start having with ourselves to say, yeah, who am I to do this? No, I don't think I can do this. So in future Blabs here, and as this topic continues, I'll go into the depths of the responses, but basically the response is, certainly I'll be with thee. I'll show you tokens. I'll reinforce this. I'm going to show you that this is really your calling, is the kind of response we get from God and the burning bush here. Moving on to verse 13 is our second objection. Again, I think that this resonates within us when we get called to greatness, where Moses says unto God, "Behold, when I go to these children," it's like, suppose I go down there, okay? So like, okay, if I do this call to greatness, what should I say to them? The Father, or the God of your fathers has sent me unto you, and they shall say, what is his name? Right? They're going to ask me for my credentials, is how I view this, right? They're going to say, yeah, but where did you go to school? What degree do you have? What knowledge, what makes you qualified to write this book, to talk about this subject, to create this company, to do these things that you're proclaiming as your call to greatness? What is it that makes you think that you're qualified? Prove this to us. So the second response is, I think, the most powerful words in the entire scripture. It's the most powerful response in the story, and it simply says, I am that I am. That's it. I am that I am. go to the children of Israel, go there, go to the Pharaoh, go on this great calling with this power of I am. And I'll dive into the depths of that, because that's really the hinge pin on this whole thing, is to understand that is the blessing of the power of I am that's within every single one of us. We use it every day of our lives. So moving on, let's get to the third doubt. Over in chapter 4, we find in verse 1, we find the first doubt in this story. And Moses answered and said, "But behold, they will not believe me, nor hearken unto my voice, for they will say, the Lord has not appeared to you." Right? So this is now, we're looking at Moses has gone to the elders, and now he's standing, in this context of who's going to believe me, right? Is this objection, this concept, this doubt we have in ourselves, where, okay, so they're not believing me. How do I convince them that this is my calling? How do I convince people to join my tribe? How do I convince people to let the people go, right? How do I convince this the perception that we have, this perceived notion that people are going to doubt us or not believe in us? How do we convince them? Simply put, the Lord responds by showing Moses some signs. And he says, what is that in your hand? This is my rod, or thy staff. He says, cast it on the ground. And he goes through these just very elaborate signs to show to Moses that he is empowered. And this also, to me, states that to convince people, you have to take massive action. You have to show them, bottom line. You have to turn their no's into yeses by showing them that this is truly your calling, that this is something that's innate and in you. You feel that and think and believe that this is what you're meant to do here with your life at this particular time, whatever it is, whatever this great calling is. And you have to just get out there and show them. So moving on to the fourth doubt, we move down to verse 10. Moses says unto the Lord, "Oh my God, I am not eloquent. I'm pretty slow in speech. I'm pretty bad, slow in tongue. I just don't have the abilities. I don't have the abilities to go and speak to people. I can't stand up and talk to people. I can't do these type of things. Hey, JD, how you doing? Thanks for stopping by. I'm on the fourth doubt right now of the 5. Just touching on the doubts tonight, giving those a preview. So basically, Moses goes into this very this proclamation saying, yeah, but I'm slow of speech. I'm slow of tongue. I don't believe I have the skills to do this. I can't stand in front of a crowd and speak. I can't lead this company. I can't write that book. Whatever it is, it's that personal doubt coming out that we don't believe that we have the capability to achieve our great calling. And of course, the Lord's response to this is, who made you? Who made you? Who gave you this concept? Who gave you this idea? You didn't come up with it on your own. I blessed you with it. I gave you this information. I gave you the concept. I pointed out the need in our society for you to go. I blessed you with the gifts to change this world. So get to it. This is kind of, we start to see a little bit of the elevation and the emotion in the conversation here as well in the story, which moves us immediately right into the fifth doubt, which is really the final plea, is what I call it, where they really, he stands there and he says, I pray to thee, I plead to you, please send someone else, or send somebody with me, or give me a tribe, right? And the thing is that the Lord kind of, we get the sense of a heightened emotion of saying, I'll send people with you. right? I'm going to send your brother in the particular essence of the story. But when we turn this to our doubts, when we truly align ourselves, we make that final plea and we surrender to this calling of our lives, we get into this place of truly aligning ourselves and going forth and like, okay, I surrender. I'm going to do this great calling. It's scary, but I'm going to do it anyway. I trust that you're with me. I trust that everything's going to work. We move into a place where instantaneously we start finding people that surround us and that get our vision. They see the need. They see the solution. They see how the book's going to benefit people, how the company's going to change a community, how all of these things that are included in your life calling, in your call to greatness, are going to be a reality. And all of a sudden things start coming to us, sometimes out of nowhere, where we don't expect them to come. And I think that, people surround us and all of a sudden we look and we're the leader and we're doing the great thing that we're supposed to be doing. And all the resources are there. We meet the right people at the right time. All of the things start to line up for us. So that is the 5 doubts. Please catch it on the replay if you didn't catch them all. It's pretty short. I think that was about 6 minutes right there, maybe 5 minutes. So I'm going to stop the recording here. Thank you very much for enjoying this part of Mosesitis, the 5 doubts to our calling of greatness.